What's going on, knuckleheads? We're live. We just got done, and this is the Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman post-fight reaction discussion. By we just got done, I mean the fight just got done, and I'm rocking the fez for you guys in honor of the older guys, in honor of Manny Pacquiao, 40 years old, going out there and schooling Keith Thurman. He was awarded the split decision, but I think if you're into boxing and you were watching that fight and judging it for yourself, you probably saw that Manny Pacquiao clearly won that fight. I'm not saying he blew Keith Thurman out, but he definitely won the fight by a few rounds and did a fantastic job, showed that he's still got the footwork. He's still got the speed. He's still got the volume. He's still tricky. He's just a clever, cagey veteran. And if you're not fast, if you're not quick, and if you don't hit really hard and you don't time him perfectly like Juan Marquez did, then you're not going to beat this guy. I think the only person that beats Manny Pacquiao is probably the big guys in the division like Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, guys in their prime that are way bigger than him, or maybe a Floyd Mayweather if he decides to come back. Regardless, a fantastic performance by Manny Pacquiao, who started the fight and set the tone with a knockdown of Keith Thurman. Incredibly surprising. A knockdown of Keith Thurman to start out the fight, set the tone, and let Keith Thurman know that, hey, I've got power. I'm smaller than you, but I've got power, and you better respect my power. And that's exactly what happened at the beginning of the fight. He had Thurman apprehensive. He also had Thurman twisting and turning all over the place because of his footwork. The footwork was just magnificent. The athleticism, the speed, the volume punching. It's exactly like I said in my prediction, where I said that the volume and the speed was just going to be too much for a guy like Keith Thurman, especially at this juncture, because, again, I didn't like this fight for Keith Thurman. If I would have been a manager or agent for Keith Thurman looking to pad his record, I would have said, no, don't take this fight. You just went life and death with Josecito Lopez after 2 years off. You need a tune-up fight before you go in there with a guy like Pacquiao. He might be 40 years old, but he's still got it. He definitely still has enough to be a contender. Now, Pacquiao, after the fight, is talking about, he's talking about having another fight next year, but who's he going to fight? I really hope Pacquiao is reasonable. I really hope he doesn't go out there and try to fight an Errol Spence or, somebody like a Terrence Crawford, because I think he's going to get severely a rude awakening if he thinks he can hang out with those young bucks. I do think he could probably beat a Sean Porter or somebody like that, but an Errol Spence or a Terrence Crawford, let's take it easy. So, if it were up to me, I would like to see Manny Pacquiao after this performance retire, call it a career. There's nothing left for you to prove. There's nothing left for you to do. An 8-division world champion. You're retiring as champion after beating one time an undefeated 30-year-old, a guy 10 years younger than you. This is the perfect opportunity to go off into the sunset, but he's talking about fighting next year. I don't get it. Maybe he wants to try to lure Floyd Mayweather back out. That's the only fight, in my opinion, that would make sense, because it would make a lot of sense. But, fighting a guy like Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford or any of the other top dogs in the division, he's just going to get himself hurt and mess with his legacy. I think at this point, the legacy is perfect. If you retire now, everybody loves you. So there you have it, knuckleheads. Manny Pacquiao wins the split decision over Keith Thurman in a fantastic performance. He looked as good, if not better, than how he looked in the Adrian Broner fight. So, you guys tell me what you think. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the chat. Should Pacquiao continue to fight? Is it necessary? What happens to Thurman next, which is the next topic I kind of want to touch on. But what happens to Keith Thurman after this? Is Keith Thurman's heart still in the game? Or is it, as I said, that he had too much of a hiatus, too much time away from boxing after the elbow surgery, went life and death with Josecito Lopez, demonstrating that he was not in top form and not prepared to go 100% into the ring the way he was before. He was not the same Keith Thurman that fought Danny Garcia, not the same guy who fought Sean Porter. And, another telling thing about this fight is Keith one-time Thurman, and the reason he's called one-time is because of his devastating power. As soon as he stepped up in competition, the guys, the chins he was facing also stepped up in competition. And it was apparent today that the smaller guy in Manny Pacquiao was able to absorb Keith Thurman's hardest punches and just keep on coming. You got to give Keith Thurman credit as well. He did a good job considering where he's at, having been off for 2 years and going life and death with Josecito Lopez and only having that fight to rely on as far as confidence goes going into this fight. Keith Thurman landed some bombs in this fight. He did some good boxing, but he was just all over the place. His feet were crossing over each other. He was off balance. Pacquiao's footwork was just too much for him. So I really would have liked to see him take, again, a warm-up fight, but, you got to give him credit. He had the guts to go in there against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman is a throwback, kind of like my new favorite heavyweight who won today, Dillian White. He's down to fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. And that's just the way the cookie crumbled. So, let's hit up the chat. We got a lot to talk about. But let's check the chat briefly. We got Chemical. Told you Manny Pacquiao was going to win this fight. You're saying he won with conditioning and footwork. Manny Pacquiao absolutely won this fight with conditioning and footwork, but also with timing, right? With reflexes. At 40 years old, he has not lost enough. And then Keith Thurman, how much did he lose with that 2-year hiatus? That's the kind of thing we got to think about here, guys and gals and knuckleheads. You can't be off from any sport, much less combat sports, where you have to be, in extremely high condition, top form all the time if you want to compete with the elite. You can't be out for 2 years and come back. As Keith said, someone has to show the old heads the door. Thurman is a bitch. He ain't fighting nobody. That's from Supercharged Chevy Kings Cartel. Thurman is a bitch. He ain't fighting nobody. Well, I got to kind of disagree with you there, my man. He fought life and death with Josecito Lopez, and he still had the balls to step in there against a Manny Pacquiao who he knew could embarrass him. And this was a bit of an embarrassing loss for Keith Thurman. When you think about it, you're still 30 years old at the end of the day, losing to a 40-year-old. And yes, it's Manny Pacquiao. And yes, he's a legend. But it's still rough. So, I really hope Keith Thurman can come back from this. If his heart is still in boxing, if he's still serious about boxing, I'd love to see him come back and maybe fight a couple more fights, before he heads back into the elite there. And Supercharged Chevy Kings Cartel is saying after today, boss. Absolutely, And he did have a big mouth. He was selling the fight. One kind of humorous thing I wanted to touch on was he talking about, I'm going to crucify you, this and that. Shouldn't have gone there with Manny Pacquiao. Then we have, oh, damn, Pacquiao will fight Danny Garcia. That's a big fight. It's a big fight, but does Danny Garcia, who's even stiffer than Keith Thurman and has even worse footwork than Keith Thurman, how does he fare against a Manny Pacquiao? I think you get the same result, assuming Father Time hasn't caught up to Manny Pacquiao and Danny Garcia's in top form, or not in top form. You would probably get the same result as you got this evening. So Kenneth de Guzman is saying, who will Pacquiao fight next? I don't know. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the video. I don't know who he fights next. I don't think he needs to fight anymore after that. I think it's absolutely unnecessary. Why would you fight anymore after such a fantastic performance at the age of 40? Right off into the sunset and help the Filipino people as a senator. You've done enough. The only reason to come back, I think, is for a Mayweather fight. You come back, you make a ton of money. And if you want to give some of it away to charity like Pacquiao does, do so, But that's the only fight really worth coming back and doing, if you ask me. Black Subject is saying split instead of unanimous. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was weird that it was a split decision. I thought it should have been unanimous myself. Denny Lai saying, if you watch the fight from a non-boxing fan or boxing outsider, you couldn't tell who was older, younger. Absolutely. Pacquiao didn't look old. He still looks like a young man. He's in great shape, and he did what he had to do, and you got to give him his props for that. Guys, just before we continue, if you like what we're doing here, the only non-biased, everybody's welcome, but keep it respectful, a combat sports channel. You can buy a Fighters Rep shirt below to help us with our Fighters Rep promotions. We're going to have live kickboxing fights next Saturday. The most talented young men and women in the world are going to be competing. So by donating or buying a shirt, you will be helping us basically build this amazing promotion out here in California, the mecca of combat sports. Also, please, if you like to talk about combat sports, click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. So who else we got in the chat? We got Bundat Lori saying, Manny look old after round 6. I don't know about that, Bundat. I think he looked great, and he pulled off the win there. Lito Vargas, Manny always has been too skillful for Thurman. I agree with that. Thurman's only shot was if Manny showed his age and did but not enough for Thurman to get the victory. Yeah, I mean, we also got to keep in mind, guys, that Thurman has been off for a while. And you can't expect a guy off for 2 years and then going life and death with a Josecito Lopez, to go straight in there with Pacquiao. It's a bad decision, but you got to give him credit. We want to shit on fighters when they don't want to fight the tough guys, and we want to make fun of them when they do. So, I got to give respect to Keith Thurman. I was surprised he took the fight, and I got a lot of respect for him. And that remains. I hope he can come back from this. He's a young man. He's a great champion. I think a top-form, top-notch Keith Thurman gives anybody a hard time, and I'd like to see him come back. Julio Guzman is saying, hey, Keith, glad he lost. Welcome to When Shit Talking Goes Wrong. Hey, man, I can't argue with you on that one, brother. Jerry Brown is saying Pacquiao versus Triple G. Jerry Brown, you are tripping, my man. We don't want Pacquiao to die in there. You putting him in there against basically a light heavyweight in Triple G. Adel Shaukat, welcome back, my brother. Appreciate you. You had it 114, 113. Tear me down. By the way, what was the scorecard? I thought it was. I thought Pacquiao won by 2 or 3 rounds. I didn't see a blowout, but I thought Pacquiao won. Bundat Lori, why would Pac fight Danny? Danny got beat up by Thurman. Exactly. Bundat, exactly. But Pacquiao has absolutely no reason to be fighting Danny Garcia. Pacquiao versus Crawford. Adil, I don't even want to go there. We already know. I mean, you already know what I think about that. Crawford destroys anybody. Crawford, the only guys that beat Crawford are the heavyweight division. And maybe Errol Spence. I don't know. We'll see. Chemical Boxing MMA, Pac will fight Danny Garcia. Too much money to be made. Maybe. Spider-Man, Pacquiao versus Lobov. Listen, Spider-Man, we want to keep Pacquiao in one piece so he can help out the Filipino people. I don't want Artem Lobov to destroy him. So the answer is no, brother. It's not happening. Keith Thurman is really good, and that's from John Adel Llevado. I agree. He is good. But I think he lost that fight, brother. He lost that fight. Let me see what we're doing here. Oh, man, I can't keep up with the chat. Adel Shaukat saying he had it close. Okay. Agree 100%. Pacquiao should effing retire. This should be his last fight. I think he should retire, but I didn't think he looked old. I thought he looked great. Kamara's saying Pacquiao's looking for money fight. He knew Thurman was ready for the picking. Now he won the belt. He'll fight Danny Garcia. Yeah, I think the Danny Garcia fight goes the same way. But he needs to stay away from the elite in the division at this point, which is Errol Spence and Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Those are the real problems in the division. Short punches next fight. I don't know what you mean by that, Louis. Joseph Pabro, Fumudzo Managa. Do these judges get punished for poor decision? Why do any of you guys think that Keith Thurman won this fight? Let me know. Adil Shaukat saying Danny Garcia ain't no money fight. I agree. I don't think he's a big money fight. I'd like to see Pacquiao probably retire after this one. Anyway, as Filipino, I really think Thurman won, but thank God Manny is truly blessed. That's Shik's TV. I disagree. I think Manny Pacquiao won that fight pretty clearly. Pac got benefit of being a legend on the cards. Thurman won at least 5 of the last 6 rounds, if not all 6. I see it as a draw. That's Justin Doss. Got to disagree with you there, my man. I thought Pacquiao won pretty clearly, although it was a close fight, but I thought he won by at least 2 or 3 rounds. Ethan Hunt, I thought Thurman did good, but it was too late. Pac shows slow down in round 6 and 7. It's true, but I mean, he still beat a guy 10 years younger, so I got to give him a lot of props for that. That says he thinks Danny might beat Pacquiao. That no-look left hook is pretty good. That's true, but if he's not looking and he gets hit with a right hook, then he's going to end up in the hospital. What kind of hat is that? That's Noah Hamilton. It's a fez, my brother. It's something I used to wear when I would talk about fights back in the day just to kind of set me apart. It's a fashion statement I'm making. I hope you like it. Spence walks through Manny, though, and that's according to Chemical Boxing. Yes, Spence walks through Manny, and he has no business. Manny has no business being in there with Spence. Gloria Kemp is saying, you ain't Filipino. You're right, I am not. I am not Filipino. Crawford knocks Manny out also. That's from Kamara. I agree. Haji Ulankaya says, are you satisfied with the split decision? It's way too convincing to be split. Shaking my head. I agree. No, I'm not satisfied with the split decision. But I think the silver lining is the right guy won. And even though Thurman lost, he can look at it and say, well, I lost the split decision after being out for a couple years. So it's not too much of a sting. It's not the same sting as if he would have been blown out. So that's the silver lining. The scoring is ridiculous. I tell all you guys, I've told you guys in the past, if you don't like boxing scoring, go to your state commission and sign up and do something about it. Stop crying about it. They accept anyone. They're always in desperate need, these commissions, for competent people. And I know that because by being on this channel, I want you guys to understand this is Fighters Rep Promotions channel. We do unified rules kickboxing. I think it's the most action-packed rule set in the fight game. And we've got live fight for you right here next week, so tune in Saturday. And so what I'm saying is I know these commissions are always looking because I deal with the commissions here in the state of California, one of the biggest commissions. And I know they're always looking for help. So, instead of sitting there and just complaining about, these judges, these referees are stupid, they don't get it right, whatever, sign up. If you guys can do better, sign up. They pay you. You get to sit cage side or ring side and learn about the sport. Sign up. That's my advice to you guys. I'm gonna skip some of this and just head towards the questions here. In all honesty, who do you guys think won the fight? I definitely thought Manny won the fight. CJ Hawaii Trump 2020 is asking if I'm a Trump supporter. Guys, keep the politics out of this channel. This channel doesn't do politics, but be sure to give your opinion on combat sports. Hit the subscribe button below, and we're gonna keep about combat sports all the time. So Xbox Gamer is asking who won. Xbox Gamer, Manny Pacquiao won. He won by split decision. I thought he deserved a unanimous decision, but it was a close fight. He looked great, especially for a guy at 40 years old going up against a guy at 30 years old. A lot of people in the chat are saying when trash talking goes wrong. A lot of people are here are happy to see are happy to see Keith Thurman lose because of his trash talking. Um, but you know, I feel bad for Keith Thurman. I kind of, you know, if I'm being honest, Keith Thurman is still a young guy. It's almost sad to see him lose to an older guy because his stock goes down so much because of boxing culture. You know, boxing culture, you lose one freaking fight and you know, your stock goes down so much, and it's unfortunate. So I feel bad for Keith Thurman. However, I think Manny Pacquiao, you know, definitely deserved the win, and you got to give him credit. A 40-year-old moving like that, punching like that, just looked incredible. He looked incredible. Let's see here. Fighters Rep, what are your thoughts about Pacquiao getting caught quite a bit? Was it his carelessness, Thurman's prowess? Did Pacquiao not feel his power? What are your thoughts? You know, I think halfway through the fight, Pacquiao got caught with a solid punch. And he went like this. He got countered, and he went like this. Now, I don't know what the hell Lennox Lewis or whoever was commentating saw. They said that he was hitting his own head because he was mad he got punched. I was like, what are you talking about? The hell are you talking about? He's hitting his own head to show, hey, hit me again. I can take the punch. So I think Manny Pacquiao realized he could take Thurman's punch, and he was also getting caught. I mean, it's boxing. You know, if you're going to swim, you're going to get wet. If you're going to box, you're going to get hit. You know, you can't expect a guy not to get punched in a boxing match, especially against a high-level boxer like Keith Thurman. So, you know, he ended up getting caught, and but he did a great job. You got to give him all the credit in the world. What do you guys think is next for Pacquiao, though? I mean, he says he wants to fight again next year. What's the point? I don't get it. I don't get it. And also, a lot of people in here are saying that Keith Thurman was talking a lot of trash. He was trying to sell the fight. And, you know, a lot of people, that's how they're going to buy the fight. Should he have relied on Pacquiao to sell the fight? I mean, every time Pacquiao gets asked a question, he just says, I want to put on a great fight for the fans. Archangel is saying next is Pacquiao versus Trump. Come on, guys. Come on. I told you guys, let's not get political in here, all right? And we don't want to see a 70-year-old against a 40-year-old or whatever it is. Do I think Pacquiao's number one PPP? I'm assuming, Chemical Kid, you mean pound for pound. No, Pacquiao is not number one pound for pound, but he's great year for year. At the age of 40, he's probably number one year for year. What do you think about that? George Velasquez, Pac-Man won, right? Yes, George, Pac-Man won. He won by split decision, and I thought he should have won by unanimous decision, but whatever. Milky Paw Paw is saying close fight, but was clearly a Thurman by split decision. A close fight that was clearly a Thurman split decision. That's sort of an oxymoron, my man. You might want to read that again and then send it back to me. Shout out, please, Kim Adriel Abanador. Big shout out to Kim. Thank you so much for being part of the Fighters Rep channel. Hey, you guys, if you guys want to continue to support this channel, we've been growing hyper speed lately, as has the promotion. Definitely tune in. If you're in California, buy tickets for Fighters Rep 7 next week. The best young kickboxing strikers in the world. It's going down. We got 18 fights. Also, please donate to the chat or buy a Fighters Rep shirt in the links below. If you want to continue to support Fighters Rep, the majority of the proceeds go right back into the promotion, and you guys are helping us basically build the next generation of fighters. Totoy Mola is saying, not bad for 40 years old. Absolutely not. Not bad at all. David Blanco is asking me, are you Hispanic? Bueno, David, no sé cómo I'm going to leave it there. Pero es bien posible que soy latino, pero también es posible que no soy latino y hablo español porque estoy en California o porque soy de Miami. Okay, but we're going to leave it at that because you guys, who cares where I'm from, right? We're talking about Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, you know. What did you guys think about Caleb Plant today? Caleb Plant looked amazing today. Caleb Plant looked like a killer today. David Blanco saying, okay, Cubano. David, pórtate bien. Okay, let's see who we got now. Now you're showing off. Speaking very well, my friend. Gracias, mi hermano. Okay, you look like Jimmy Kimmel, by the way. Are you related? I'm not related to Jimmy Kimmel. You know, if I was, I would ask him for money. I got Manny Pacquiao 7-5 easily. That's Joe HJKGK. You guys need to come up with easier to pronounce YouTube handles. First round knockdown was a big factor, says Brian the Troll. I agree with that. And also, Straight Asian mentioned, did he break the ribs of Thurman? You know, I thought that was important. I think it was in the 11th round. Pacquiao went under the right arm with a left hook to the liver. And, you know, that's where your opponent's liver is, ladies and gentlemen. It's under the right arm. And these idiot broadcasters, I mean, they were driving me crazy today, you guys. They were saying that Thurman was bending over because it was a headbutt. No, it wasn't a headbutt. He got punched in the liver. You know what that does to your body? Don Elvergudo is asking me, oye, chico, ¿qué tú piensas de la pelea? Bueno, yo creo que el decisión fue justo. I think Pacquiao deserved to win. What do you think, Chico? Shout out, bro. Carl Garcia, big shout out. Hey, I'm shouting you guys out. Oh, Carl from the Philippines. Salamat, my brother, from the Philippines. So Kim Adriel Abanador saying, shout me out again. I'll subscribe to your channel. Click the subscribe button below and become a part of Knucklehead Nation. And you guys can help me build the greatest unified rules kickboxing promotion in the world. If you're asking me, we're already up there. But next Saturday, you will see for yourself live right here, Fighters Rep 7. Tune in. Pac can take a punch for an old guy. Absolutely, the man can take a punch for an old guy. Albert Huagar is saying, where are you from? Shout out, please. Man, right now I'm living in Los Angeles, California. I'm in San Pedro, California. Represent. Right now, that's where I'm at. Okay, if you guys, I don't know, you guys are so interested in me. Berlin Verbal is saying, Salamu alaikum from Berlin. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Berlin. Let's see. Props to Thurman losing, but with respect, winner as well. Well, Daryl, I think a lot of people would disagree with you on that one, my brother. I think a lot of people would say that Thurman was not respectful at all in the lead up to this fight. Let's see here. Our DB creator watching from Dubai. Habibi, thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Dubai. Big shout out to all my Arab brothers and sisters. Larry Rosaline, are you an Israeli? No, but I consider Israelis to be my Semitic brothers and sisters, and I got love for them. I got love for everybody. It doesn't matter where you're from. This is the channel where we don't care where you're from. If you like fighting, this is the channel you want to be at. All I care about is your opinion. Doesn't matter where you're from. Hector Rodriguez, Atecucario, Michoacan. Oh, man. Hey, I must say, Michoacan has great food. I hope Thurman learns something to be a better fighter, says Jay Blow. You know, Thurman, I really hope that he can come back from this. I feel like ever since he got hurt and did the elbow surgery and all that, it's just been heartbreaking for me because I used to love Thurman. You know, I used to love One Time. You know, he's a Florida boy, One Time. He used to go in there, not afraid to lose. So, you know, there you have it. David Gomez, this is a fez. This is something, you know, my grandparents used to wear. And so I'm shouting out the old heads because Manny Pacquiao, at the age of 40 years old, beat Keith Thurman. So you got to give love to the old heads. Always, we got to give love to our elders, my brother. Thoughts on the Jair Inson versus Sergey Lipinets undercard? You know, I didn't watch that fight, so you tell me what happened. You tell me what happened there, guys. So what do you guys think happens next to Keith Thurman? Where does he go from here? I'm really interested in what you guys have to say about that. What you guys think? Where does Keith Thurman go from here? And hello to all of you guys saying hello. Define Awkward keeps writing E. Define Awkward. I think your key is stuck in your keyboard. But yeah, Keith should do a rematch with Danny Garcia. Mihailo, that's a really good idea. Keith should do a rematch with Danny Garcia. And Tomas Netro is asking, when does Pacquiao fight next? He's supposed to be fighting next year, is what he's saying. Jacob TV is saying, shalom, brother. Shalom, right back to you, my brother. Hey, guys, please subscribe below. Click the bell notification icon. We do this every week. You guys only want to join, you guys want to be fair weather fans and only join us when a big fight happens. We do this every week Thursday. We give you our prediction. And immediately after the big fights, we go live again so we can discuss. This is a forum for everybody to discuss because we all know that we feel like we're left hanging after the big fights, you know. It's time to talk after the big fights. We want to get our feelings out. So this is where you guys can do that. You guys can also watch our live kickboxing event next Saturday right here at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Tune in and please subscribe. Also, donate to the channel. Show some love. Help me build this promotion and, give these kids the opportunities they're looking for. By buying a Fighters Rep shirt below or donating, this money is reinvested back into the promotion, and you guys are basically crowdfunding and helping me build the best striking promotion in the world. I got the best talent right here in the Mecca of combat sports in Southern California. So Thurman came back on the 7th round onwards. This is according to Frank Ocean. Yeah, I mean, he did come back and do a better job, but it was too little, too late, too little, too late. What are those frames in the background? The frames in the background, Vogue, those are previous Fighters Rep shows. We're going into our 7th show on Saturday. It's just shows from the past, basically posters from our fights right here in California, where we have the best young fighters in the world, in my opinion. And I think if you guys tune in next week, I'll be able to prove it to you. Pete Batfish is saying Thurman is lucky he lost. Spence would break his ribs. I think at this juncture, Spence would deal with Keith Thurman in a very rough way. Did I watch the Ugas versus Figueroa fight? Walking W said, yeah, not a fight I was really into, to be honest with you. But yeah, I saw it, didn't really think much of it. David Blanco is saying, just subscribe, brother. Love the show. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys can subscribe. Doesn't take a lot. You just click the button that's down here. And we do predictions every Thursday. And I must say, we do predictions every Thursday at 9 Pacific. And then we go live immediately after the big fights, typically on Saturday, unless they're on Friday. And I must say, my predictions for this one were on the money. I said that Pacquiao would win. And I thought the volume and the footwork would be too much, and it was. Let me see. Great fight, says Anthony Samaniego. I agree. It was a great fight. It was a great fight. The son Johan, breaking records again, oldest welterweight champion in history. Man, this guy is absolutely amazing. He's amazing. I mean, Manny Pacquiao is a marvel. He's a legend of the sport. He needs to be respected, and he's amazing. John Wick is asking, what is your opinion on Dillian White and his win? John, I actually went live earlier today after the Dillian White fight. You can go back and check that. But in a nutshell, Dillian White is my favorite heavyweight. He's probably my favorite fighter right now just because he's a throwback. He'll fight anybody, and that's the attitude that I love. So I love Dillian White, and I thought he did a great job, and I thought Oscar Rivas was a tough guy too. Hashtag trucking is asking who won. It was Manny Pacquiao in a split decision, although I think most people saw him winning a unanimous decision, but some people in the chat right now actually think Thurman won. So I think these are people you would call casuals. I'm just playing, guys. I respect your opinions. I'm sure you guys watch boxing once every 6 months. Do I agree that it was a split decision? No, Livy, no. I don't agree that it was a split decision. I thought Pacquiao won easy 2 or 3 rounds. AJ Garn is saying Dillian White can't beat Wilder. That's bullshit. I think Dillian White can beat Wilder, and I think if Wilder doesn't land a knockout punch on Dillian White, then Dillian White will beat his ass for the entirety of the fight. I could be wrong. You know, I've been wrong before, but I thought Fury was going to beat Wilder, and I thought Fury did beat Wilder despite what those cards said. So anyway, Thurman did better than Mayweather from Golden State. Golden State, my man, I don't know what you're talking about. Floyd Mayweather beat Pacquiao clearly in that fight. Let's keep bias out of this. Floyd Mayweather is probably one of the greatest boxers that's ever lived. I know a lot of you are going to hate me for saying that, but that's just my opinion. And you have yours, and that's what the chat's for. Guys, be sure to donate. Be sure to click subscribe below or buy a Fighters Rep t-shirt from down below, and you'll help me build our amazing Fighters Rep promotion, and we'll continue every week to discuss the fights like we typically do. But next Saturday, I got free fights for you guys. We got 18 fights on the card for free. You just got to tune in. Of course, if you live in California, I expect for you guys to buy tickets at fightersrep.com. Sasha saying, yes, Fighters Rep 7 this Saturday in Seal Beach, California. That's right, Sasha. I better see you there, you sexy mama. I wish there were more rounds in the fight, says Moji. I don't know why you would want more rounds in the fight. It was a clear win, but nothing. I don't think there was going to be any more action left. I didn't think it was necessary to go longer than it was. 29-1. But you know what? I give it to Keith. Even though he lost, he's still a dangerous boxer, man. He's just Manny. What can you expect from a legend? Random YouTube comment. I agree. I like Keith Thurman. He's a beast. But, man, Manny Pacquiao is just a special kind of guy, and it takes a special kind of person to beat Manny Pacquiao. Melissa Quitaleg is saying Thurman wants a rematch. Of course he wants a rematch. He's a competitor, and that's it. PWND is asking, who do you think Manny should fight next? Well, me personally, I think Manny, after this kind of win, should retire unless he can get Mayweather back in the ring, and that would be enough of a big money fight to continue his career. But why would you continue to fight after being a guy 10 years younger than you that's undefeated and winning a welterweight strap? Why would you continue to fight after that? At 40 years old, 8th division boxing champion, you've done it all. You've been pound for pound #1. You've seen the summit. You've rested your head upon the boxing summit for years. What's left for you to do, Manny Pacquiao? Go take care of the Philippines and turn it into an amazing place, even more amazing than it already is. I hear it's actually an awesome place. I was watching an interview with Brandon Vera the other day. Kind of made me want to go out there. But what more is there for Manny Pacquiao to do? Why is he not retiring? I don't understand. I don't understand. Vince Tavares is saying, do you think he could stand against Alvarez? You mean Manny Pacquiao against Canelo Alvarez? Tú estás loco, hermano. Tú estás loco. No way he can go in there against Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is fighting super middleweights and light heavyweights. Canelo Alvarez can beat cruiserweights. So no. If he will retire, nobody will watch boxing, says Manila House Express. That's not true, Manila House Express. Just because you love Pacquiao and you won't watch boxing anymore doesn't mean that other people won't watch boxing. So that's what I think about that. Fighters rep Thurman versus Broner. This is Walking W. Thurman versus Broner. They can trash talk and can't afford to lose against each other. I think Broner can afford to lose at this point. Nobody cares about Broner anymore, and he's expected to kind of lose at this point, which is a shame. But the trash talking would be fun there, and I also think Thurman would destroy Broner. Why is he not retiring? This is Hop. Because he loves to fight, and he still does so at a very high level. It's true, but he's 40 years old. Why would you continue to fight? There's no reason. There's no reason, and it's not like he's going to go in there and fight Errol Spence or fight Terrence Crawford. Those guys are going to kill him. So, I mean, he's kind of just picking and choosing his fights at this point, Majesto Rain is saying, who won, guys? Manny Pacquiao won by split decision, although I think he should have won the unanimous decision. So, yeah. Michael Eugene Romero, is he the GOAT of boxing? Michael, who are you talking about? If you're saying Pacquiao's the GOAT of boxing, if you look at his career as a whole, maybe you could make that argument. But right now, no, definitely not. Definitely not. I think the GOAT, guys like Ali, Joe Louis. I even think, for me, I really think Floyd Mayweather's up there. A lot of people don't like it because of his personality or whatever, but I think Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters to ever live. And that's my opinion. Let's see what we got here. Definitely top 10, says Benedict Brigida. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao is definitely top 10. He's incredible. He's an incredible guy. Alvin Lee saying it's all about money. That's why he's not retiring. Well, I mean, but Manny Pacquiao is the kind of guy that wins a purse and gives it all away. So maybe it's all about charity money. I don't know. Pacquiao got $20 million in this fight, says Last Verse. Well, you just convinced me. Man, I'd fight anybody for $20 million. That's crazy, my man. That's crazy. Manny is the only 8 division and Mayweather on 4 belt. Fatima Puted. All right. Hand Twister saying no one has ever done more 8 division champ held titles at 18 years old plus 40 years old. Guys, be sure to click the subscribe button below. Donate to the channel. Purchase your Fighters Rep t-shirt below. Keep supporting us. It'll help me continue to build Fighters Rep Promotions, the best unified rules kickboxing promotion in the world. Be sure to tune in next week for free fights. Unless you live in California, I want you guys to buy a ticket at fightersrep.com. But next week, I'll have free fights for you guys. 18 fights lined up. Stand and bang. None of this holding or hugging stuff. It's going to be sick, so be sure to tune in. So 5 years ago, unknown 5 years ago, 8 different weight divisions doesn't mean anything to his 5th lineal. That's a good point. Ruben Sanchez is saying, no, we don't like Money May because all his fights were boring AF. LOL. His fights were kind of boring sometimes, but he got everybody so excited about boxing, so you got to give him that, Abigail Alvarez is asking who won. Abigail, Manny Pacquiao won by split decision, although it should have been unanimous decision, in my opinion. Melissa Kitaleg is saying it's true, Mayweather the GOAT. I think he may be the GOAT in my opinion, but what do I know? It's just an opinion. Mr. T said, take your stupid hat off, loser. This what you want, Mr. T? Is this what you want? Is this what you like? Oh, it's going back on and you can't do nothing about it, Mr. T. Oh, you like that, Mr. T. You like it. All right. Floyd, the running GOAT. I think Floyd's got to be a GOAT. You guys can say whatever you want. I like Floyd. Give criteria why Mayweather's the GOAT. Let's not get off topic here, you guys. let's stick to, the reason why Pacquiao won this fight. What's next for Keith Thurman? What's next for Pacquiao? Tell me what you guys think. Mr. T, if you're gonna keep saying crazy stuff, you should bounce out of this. You should bounce out of this channel. You should go to another channel, my man. We're not here to insult each other. We're not here to be mean to each other. We're here to just talk about boxing. Let's not get personal, my man. We're here to have fun and talk about boxing. If you're having some kind of problems in your life or you're depressed or whatever, and you need to say this kind of stuff, bounce out the channel. Pete Batfish is saying send him back, Mr. T. Oh my God, these people. Thurman was nervous compared to other fights. Only reason he lost, to be honest. You think Thurman was nervous, or was he just on the shelf for so long and just not in shape, not in fight shape for this fight, I think that's probably, what it is. I think Thurman it took too much of a hiatus, 2 years out of the game, and then you want to come back. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Mr. Coleman saying Thurman versus Crawford. Now, Mr. Coleman, what are you trying to do to the guy? And his career? You want him in there against Bud Crawford, probably the best fighter in the world right now? No way, my man. Let's not put Thurman in there with Bud Crawford and destroy his confidence completely. I think Thurman probably should fight Danny Garcia. Like one of the people in the chat said earlier, I think that'd be a fantastic fight. Thurman versus Garcia. Tristan Hates Artist saying that body shot was amazing. My man Thurman almost folded with that shot. Yes. And in my prediction, I actually said, I think that, if he goes to the body, he could really finish him off. And because as we all know, if we've watched Keith Thurman fight in the past, he doesn't take a body shot well. He just doesn't. And so that's what happened there. Thurman footwork got him knocked down, says Embert Agnes. Was it Thurman's footwork or was it Pacquiao's footwork? Pacquiao has some of the best footwork in the game. Even at the age of 40, who do you see darting in and out like that other than Lomachenko? And just, fantastic fighter. He's a fantastic fighter. Garrett Inocencio saying he got beat up by a 40-year-old. It's true. He did get beat up by a 40-year-old. But this 40-year-old can beat up most people. That's just the way it is. It's Pacquiao. So he's an incredible guy, and it is going to hurt Thurman's career, and it is going to hurt Thurman's confidence that he lost this fight, especially the fact that Pacquiao is 40 years old. But you got to give Thurman credit for stepping in there and fighting a guy like Manny Pacquiao, considering his last fight was, Josecito Lopez. He went life and death with him and was sitting on the bench for 2 years, basically. So, guys, please click the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Also, click the bell notification icon. We do this every Thursday with our predictions and previews, and immediately after all the big fights. Also, be sure to donate and buy a Fighters Rep shirt below to continue to help support the channel and Fighters Rep Promotions, the #1 unified rules kickboxing promotion in the world, if you ask me. So what we got here next in the chat, you guys? Pacquiao versus Mayweather 2, Night X Neo. I think that's the only fight Pacquiao should come back for. Unless he really wants to fight that bad. I mean, he's definitely got nothing to prove. So yeah. Don Elvergudo, are you selling hats? If you want one of these, brother, I got you. You tell me I can make you a custom one, even whatever you want. Truly Blessed is saying I wouldn't mind seeing Pac versus May 2 at their ages right now. I think it'd be a fun fight. I think a lot of people would tune in and watch that fight. D-Day Manikan is saying, what a win by Pacquiao. Woo. He got me nervous for a while there in round 7 or 8. Yeah, I mean, Thurman started to come back a little bit. But, Pacquiao was just too much for him at that point. It was just too much. And he really set the tone with that knockdown in the first round and earned Keith Thurman's respect. And I think that was really important for Pacquiao to do that. That was a great strategy, if that's what his strategy was, to go out there and be aggressive in the first round and show Thurman that even though he's a smaller guy, he's got the power to hurt him. What do you think about the hardest accomplishment? 8 division or 50-0, says Ride, Eat, and Enjoy. I think it depends, right? If you're 50-0 but you're fighting clowns, then that's not a hard accomplishment. If you're an 8 division fighter but you were really small and it all depends on what you think, Nielsen Salvo is saying punched by a T-Rex arms. A lot of you guys are saying T-Rex arms. What are you guys talking about? You guys talking about Pacquiao's arms being T-Rex arms? I'm a little bit confused about this whole T-Rex thing. David Blanco is asking me, who's my best fighter of all time? David, from what I've seen, since I've been around, I like Floyd Mayweather. I think he's the best. People might disagree with me, whatever. That's my opinion. So I think Mayweather's the best I've ever seen. A defensive master, aggressive when he wants to be, technically fantastic, high IQ, preserves his energy, athletic, all of it. He's got all of it. San Amilasan is saying you are biased, man. Why am I biased, San? What are you talking about? What are you even talking about here? Ashley Kalumaya, who wants a spoiler alert? Spoiler alert, Manny Pacquiao won by split decision and should have won by unanimous decision. Let's see what else we got in this chat here. Andrew Lorente is saying, Keith, round 1 Thurman has been exposed. That's it. Andrew Lorente, though, I mean, we can't really write this guy off because he lost one fight against one of the greatest fighters of all time. Come on. Let's be honest here. Guys. Errol Spence is the most overrated fighter in the welterweight division, says Android User. Well, I got to disagree with you there, Android User. I actually think Errol Spence is the goods. He's what people say he is. But I'd love to watch him fight Terrence Crawford. David Blanco, thank you so much, my brother, for donating to the channel and donating to Fighters Rep Promotions. It means a lot. The majority of these donation amounts, the great majority, are invested right back into the promotion. And trust me, the young warriors that are going to be competing next week, most talented young fighters in the world, they're going to thank you so much for that. So thank you so much, David Blanco. Much appreciated. Blends-a-lot is saying Spence equals hype. I got to disagree, my man. I don't know who you're watching. I don't know who you guys are watching when you're watching Errol Spence fight or what you're doing. I mean, are you guys smoking ayahuasca or something? I mean, have you guys seen Errol Spence fight? The guy is like Marvin Hagler reincarnated. The guy's an animal. What are you guys talking about? Les 3000 is saying Spence versus Crawford. Yes, Spence versus Crawford. Yes, that's the fight. That's the fight that I want to see. Guys, please subscribe below. I'd greatly appreciate it. We do this every Thursday where we predict fights live and preview them. And immediately after the big fights, we go live again and we discuss the fights. So let's see what else we got in this chat, man. A lot of stuff going on in here, and I really appreciate you guys being present in the chat. Bed Scenes is saying Pac-Man versus Crawford. I don't think so, man. I don't think Pac-Man versus Crawford is a good idea. I definitely don't think Pac-Man versus Crawford is a good idea because Crawford's in his prime and Pacquiao is not in his prime. And I just don't think Pacquiao will be able to hang with a guy like Crawford. I think it's a bad idea. Nice hat. Do you think Thurman? Thank you, Dundee Smith. Nice hat. Do you think Thurman should have taken lesser challenger? Bad matchup. I agree that it was a bad matchup. But look, we can't be hypocrites, right? When guys don't fight good opposition, we say, oh, that guy is ducking. When guys fight somebody that's out of their league or they shouldn't be fighting at the time, we say that guy's an idiot. You know, we got to keep it consistent. So for me, I respect Keith Thurman for taking Pacquiao at this juncture in his career because look, he was off for 2 years. He got married. He was off for 2 years because of an elbow surgery, and the only tune-up fight he had, was Josecito Lopez, who before the surgery was not in his league, and he went life and death with him. So that lets you know that Keith Thurman was not where he needed to be for that fight, and perhaps he was not where he needed to be for this fight as well. So, you know, that's just the way it is. That's the way I see it. And, you know, you guys can tell me what you guys think. Sasha Jeha is saying, love the hat. Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. Our grandparents would have loved this hat as well. This day is another history no one can change. Thurman is a loser. And that's from LV Gepul. Wow, you guys are really harsh on Thurman. Really, really harsh on Thurman. You know, if I'm being honest, I like Thurman a lot. I respect all fighters. And I think he was trying to sell the fight by saying some of the disrespectful stuff he said. But, you know, I wish the best for the guy. I think it would have been better for him to actually win this fight because he's a young guy. He's got his whole career ahead of him. And it's kind of unfortunate he lost. Let's see. Miguel Matador is saying winner by split. Yeah, Pacquiao won by split decision, Miguel. And he ended up, well, he should have won by unanimous decision, but he won by split decision. David Blanco donating another $3 to the channel. David, thank you so much, my man. Much appreciated. Again, anything you guys donate or purchase for the channel is invested back into the promotion where I have some of the most talented young fighters. You're going to be seeing them compete next week live. I got 18 fights, the baddest young cats you're going to see in your life. Kids from Black House MMA, where Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida, and Blake Troop and these people train. Kids from the Yard Muay Thai, where the legendary Joe Schilling trains. We got guys from Systems Training Center, Saxon Muay Thai. You know, these Kings MMA who, you know, I think they had a guy tonight fighting the UFC. I mean, these are all sick schools. They're going to be competing next week. It's stand and bang. There's no holding. If they clinch, they get broken up. You guys are going to love the rule set. There's no grappling. It's just kickboxing. And I want you guys to check it out next week at 7 p.m. right here. So let's see what else you guys are talking about. Love Addict 69 is saying Manny beat Mayweather. No, he did not. Don is asking how much the hats. You're a funny guy, Don. Last time, Keith Thurman. Dang, Don, you are vicious, my man. Knight X Neo's asking, do you think Mayweather will not accept the fight with Pacquiao since he is looking very good after dominating wins over Broner and Thurman? You know, I think if Mayweather wants to make another $100 million, $200 million, he'll step back in the ring. Mayweather staying retired is the hardest thing. It's got to be the hardest thing in the universe for Mayweather to do because he just makes so much. The guy's a money machine. So, yeah, I mean, if I was Mayweather, I'd fight till I was 200 years old and on a walker, and I wouldn't be able to stop. I mean, how do you stop if you're making 100 million every time? Renee Visay is asking, do you think there will be a rematch? Maybe. I mean, if Mayweather decides to build a new country on an island somewhere, or Manny Pacquiao does, they can just agree to a fight and finance it. I mean, it's so much damn money. How do you say no to that? And I think that's the only fight that Pacquiao should come back for, because it's not like he's going to be, at least I don't think he's going to be in there versus an Errol Spence or a Terrence Crawford. So he's not going to be fighting for legacy anymore. He's got enough of a legacy. David Burgess is saying Manny beat Floyd. No, David, he did not beat Floyd. No. And if you guys want training, I have access to Dan Bamstel, the vice president of the IKF. I could send you guys to a training course where you guys can learn to score a fight. Okay, you guys can learn. I can get you guys training. So just, Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe below. You can message us on Instagram, and I'll put you in touch, and you guys can learn. Grimy Monkey is saying, the fuck is that one judge watching? Pac almost got robbed. I agree. That was ridiculous, man. The fact that someone scored that fight for Thurman, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Alex Shelley saying Manny did beat Floyd. Fact. Actually, it's not fact. If you go on Box Rec, Floyd Mayweather has the win. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know what you guys are talking about. David Blanco. How about Chavez Sr. versus Pac-Man and Chavez's prime? Who do you got? Man, on the spot, on a live chat. That's something that you guys message me about, or subscribe to the channel and write in the comments, and we'll go back and forth. That's too much. AJ Guerin. Roberto Duran would beat Mayweather prime for prime. That's a possibility. You know, Roberto Duran, a focused Roberto Duran would probably give Mayweather a very hard time. I would love to see it. However, you're comparing different eras, and Mayweather would have the advantage. And because of the era, and I think, I think Mayweather's the best I've ever seen. But what do I know? It's just my opinion, right? Anyway, Suhada Reza saying Jangkok for you from Indonesia. I don't know what that means. If you could please explain it. I apologize if I said something wrong, but I don't know what you mean by that. But I hope it's something good, and thank you. Damian Chase saying this was similar to Pacquiao versus Cotto fight. Well, not really. I mean, didn't Pacquiao finish Cotto? Anyway, Johnny English saying, what if Pacquiao was in the era of Muhammad Ali? Yeah, but I mean, he's not going to be fighting heavyweights. He would have crushed anybody back then as well. When El Nassim is saying, what do you think Canelo versus Pacquiao? Oh, come on, you guys. Canelo's huge. Canelo would destroy Pacquiao. Come on, it's so too much of a size disparity for them to be fighting each other. Junex Marcel is saying, to those who commented that Pac beats Floyd were damn fools. I'm a Filipino myself. It doesn't look, guys, look. It's 2019. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you're watching combat sports, where you're from or what you are or whatever. You got to give people credit. People are people, you guys. You guys are adults here, right? People are people. We enjoy combat sports. That's why this channel exists. There should be no bias in judging. If you don't want people complaining about the bias in judging, if you don't want to be disappointed, you got to knock it out of yourself first. We're here to watch fights. If somebody can fight, they can fight. It doesn't matter where they're from. Don is saying, not really. I'm a UFO. You're right. Maybe you are a UFO. By the way you've been talking today, you're a UFO. I believe it. JC Segui is having a meltdown, it looks like. JC, I believe you may be in the wrong chat. If you want to go to the My Little Pony chat, you can bounce, my man. David Burgess is saying he's a Martin. I think you mean you're a Martian. Yes, you cleared it up on the second one. Floyd robs a win from Manny Pacquiao. You know, that I'm going to have to disagree with. Pac-Man versus Triple G. John Ulster Guillermo is asking Pac-Man versus Triple G. Come on, you guys. Pac-Man versus Triple G. He's twice the guy's size. He's twice his size, you guys. That's crazy. That's crazy. Katsu Dota 2 is saying Ali, Robinson, Pacquiao, the only three to be in the GOAT conversation. Well, I mean, you know, it's a matter of opinion, but those are some good picks. Those are definitely some good picks. Paul Mercado is asking Loma versus Pac. I think Loma wins that fight, man. I don't see too many people beating Loma. For me, Loma and Terrence Crawford right now are like Loma and Terrence Crawford are just superhuman, man. They're nasty. They're nasty. Let's see what else you guys are talking about here. The best prime fighter, this is according to Ruben Sanchez. The best prime fighter I've seen with my eyes was Roy Jones Jr. in his prime. That man was from another planet. You know what? We can't forget about Roy Jones. You're absolutely right. That guy was an animal in his prime. An animal. But he lost to Joe Calzaghe. All right? So you explain that one. And this is me trolling you right now. He lost to Joe Calzaghe. Win on the scene, Margarito was way bigger than Pac-Man before. Yeah, Margarito was way bigger than Pac-Man. But you're going to compare Margarito to Triple G? I mean, come on, you guys. Not only is Triple G way bigger than Pac-Man, he's got over 300 amateur fights. He's a silver medalist in the Olympics, and he's an absolute killer. What are you guys talking about? Margarito got knocked out by Shane Mosley, was cheating, putting plaster in his gloves, got beat up by Miguel Cotto. Whatever. Hey, who's at your back? Asks NB. I don't know what you're talking about, my man. Amazing Leo. Loma smaller than Pac. Pac dominates. I disagree. I think Loma beats Pacquiao. I really do. Jazari Hall. Prince Nassim was a beast in his prime. I agree. Prince Nassim was a beast. Now it'd be an interesting fight. A hungry Prince Nassim. Love Addict 69 saying good night. Good night. Thank you so much for joining the chat. Hey guys, if you don't mind, please click the subscribe button below. Join us for our weekly live discussions on Thursday nights at 9 Pacific to predict and preview the upcoming fights. And on Saturday or the day of the big fights, we always go live immediately after. So definitely check it out. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification icon, and show some love. Donate to the channel or buy a Fighters Rep shirt, and we'll reinvest the money right back into Fighters Rep promotions. The most exciting combat sport in the world. We got free fights for you next week. We got 18 stand and bang kickboxing fights right here in Seal Beach, California. It's going to be sick, so check it out. Monkey Boys is saying, you hate Manny. No, absolutely not. Manny's awesome. What are you guys talking about? Trenton White is saying, hater, shaking my head. I don't know if you guys are talking about me or somebody else. Manny is a beast. David, thank you so much, my man. I appreciate you very much. I really appreciate you donating to the promotion, to the channel. So thank you so much. But Manny's a beast, so I don't hate Manny at all. I just don't think he beats Lomachenko right now at the age of 40. I also don't think he beats Triple G, who's twice his size and can fight. Knight X Neo has been asking some good questions. So this is off topic, but who do you think should fight Conor McGregor next? I think Conor McGregor should fight Justin Gaethje. I'd love to see that fight. That would be a sick fight. Or Jorge Masvidal. Steven Seal. Crawford has the whole division on shook mode. Pac-Man Camp said they don't like the matchup. Spence is running. Both Garcias don't want none. For sure. Freaking Crawford is a beast, bro. Who wants to mess with Crawford? The guy's a killer. The guy is a killer. Justin Bieber or Amanda Nunes. Don Overgudo. Don is on that ayahuasca for sure. Don, you're on that DMT, bro. You're on that DMT, my man. But I got Amanda Nunes crushing Justin Bieber, my boy. Sishak, Crawford cheated. Now, get out of here, Sishak. Sishak, get out of here, my brother. Killer doesn't do low blows. Come on, man. He punched Amir Khan in the hamstring, and Amir Khan gave up. Get out of here, dude. And Amir Khan just fought Billy Deeb. Billy Deeb is like a lightweight who retired 10 years ago. No, Sishak. I got respect for Amir Khan, but he's done. He's done. Let's just be honest. We got to be honest with yourself. NB, there's a lion at your back, says NB. Yes, that's the logo for Fighters Rep Promotions. It's a lion. Get over it. Probably wrong, says Canelo against Kovalev, if I spelled that right. LOL. I think that's an entertaining fight. I think that Kovalev is far along in his career, far along enough, excuse me, where it would be a good fight. And that Canelo could beat him. But I think a prime Kovalev, a Canelo would probably have stayed away from him. April and Ilagan is saying Pacquiao versus Crawford. No, my friend. Ganesh Dongana is saying watching from Nepal. Shout out to Nepal. Thank you so much for tuning in. Much respect. I love it when people from other countries tune in, other states. You know, it makes me feel international. So much love to you guys. Definitely tune in next Saturday for some free fights. We got 18 fights on the card right now. It's going to be an amazing event. So check it out and click the subscribe button below and join us. Who will win for you if Khan versus Pac fight? Ironheart, that's an easy win for Pac. Yasmin Farah, Somalia here. Big salam, shout out to Somalia, man. My Semitic people, I got much love for you guys. So big shout out to Somalia from right here in Los Angeles. Kevin G. Pacquiao versus Charlo. Come on. Charlo's a big guy, Kevin. You want to put Pacquiao in there versus Charlo? Why not just throw him in there with Dillian White? Come on, my brother. Daryl Jomawan is saying Manny equals tired. Thurman equals confused and hurt. I don't know. I didn't think Manny Pacquiao looked that tired. I mean, he went 12 rounds and won a decision against a 30-year-old who'd never lost before. Come on. Don Elvergudo, can you give a shout out to Medellin? Are you talking about Medellin, Colombia? Are you tuning in from Medellin, Colombia? That's crazy, my man. If you are, much love to you if you're doing that. Ironheart, watching from the Philippines. Thank you so much, man. I think it's salamat. That's the only word my Philippine homies taught me. And there were some other ones, but I forgot. Thank you. Thank you. Seedless watermelon. No, man, from the Medellin cartel. Oh, my God, seedless watermelon. You're trying to get someone in trouble in here, brother. Pacquiao will whoop Porter's ass, says Jim Manow. That's a possibility. I could see Pacquiao beating Porter because Porter is not that great of a boxer. But Pacquiao is. Shout out to Nico from the Philippines. Thank you, Nico. You're saying the logo of the line is like LeBron James. I guess so, my man. I appreciate it. So Asia getting older equals getting stronger. Not sure what you mean by that, but I don't know. David Smith, what can Usyk do at heavyweight? You know, David, that's an interesting question. I think Usyk is one of the best technical big guys out there, but it's just, I think he might be a little undersized, although Andy Ruiz has kind of confused me about that. So I don't know, my man. I'm really excited to see what Usyk can do. He showed good technique and a lot of heart and a lot of determination so far, especially against Murat Gassiev and Tony Bellew. And Tony Bellew is a guy I respect a lot, and so is Murat Gassiev. So I'm excited to see what happens. God of Rap Castro. Most of Mike Tyson's career, he fought a lot of bums. That's true. That's true. He did fight a lot of bums. Then when he went in there against Holyfield, didn't work out for him too well. But, you know, what can we do? Ruben Luna saying, Salamat po. God bless you. Thank you, my brother. God bless you too. Big up. Shout out Lisa from Canada, from Bangtan Cookie. Hey, shout out to Canada. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Probably wrong. Just wrote Ruiz ranked number 3 in the UK. Oh, man, you guys are silly. You guys are silly. Amazing Leo saying, notice me, senpai. I don't know what you're saying. You guys got to be a little bit more descriptive sometimes because I don't know what you guys are talking about. I apologize. Alessandro Benigno is saying, what's up from South Africa? Dang. Big shout out to South Africa. Africa. That's sick, my man. Thank you guys so much. Night X Neo is asking Justin Bieber versus Snoop Dogg. That I would pay to watch. I would pay to watch Justin Bieber versus Snoop Dogg. Hey guys, be sure to buy a Fighters Rep shirt or donate below. Any money you send us is reinvested back into the promotion, and you're helping out some of the best young fighters in the world. If you tune in next week, you'll see them live right here. I got live fights for you guys. So I hope you guys subscribe, tune in, donate, show some love, donate, help me build this promotion to be the next big thing. Salúdame desde Nicaragua. Entérate con Víctor. Shout out. Te mando un gran saludo. Entérate con Víctor hasta Nicaragua. I miss my Nicaraguan food. I used to eat it in Miami. It was so good. Big shout out to Nicaragua. Yasmin Farah Hassan, my husband's first wife, is from South Africa. Yasmin, are you here to talk about boxing? Or are you here to talk about Somalia and South Africa? Get on it, young lady or young man. Young lady, should be young lady. Don Elvergudo, Mr. 305 Worldwide. Hey, my man. 305 for life, brother. 305 for life. Night X Neo, did you watch Leon Edwards versus Rafael Dos Anjos? So now we're kind of starting to tune out the Pacquiao Thurman fight and talk about other things. I did watch Leon Edwards versus Dos Anjos. I thought Leon Edwards did a good job. What did you think? What did you think? KNG Yawn, Canelo versus Triple G3. Who you got? I got Canelo. Canelo's just getting better. Triple G is just getting older. You got to give it to Canelo. What do you think? Jonas Arcana is saying many times Thurman hit Manny, but Manny's still conditioned. Manny is a warrior. I agree. And he took his best punches and he just kept walking forward. So that was crazy. Entérate con Victor saying, wow, hablas español. Es increíble, hermano. Pensé que solo hablabas inglés. Pensaste, te equivocaste con tu pensamiento, mi hermano. Hablo español, hablo inglés. You know, I speak a few languages and got love for everybody. So appreciate all of you guys tuning in all over the world. I appreciate you guys very much. If you could donate to the channel or buy a Fighters Rep shirt, I'd appreciate it if you guys could subscribe and become a part of Knucklehead Nation. I appreciate it very much. Love hearing you talk. Keep it up. Bye. Got to wash them clothes. Thank you so much, Amazing Leo. Appreciate you very much, brother. How many fights can Pacquiao take? What's your opinion? That's from Dwin Gallora or Galora. You know, I think Pacquiao can probably keep fighting, but he's really got to just calm down, man, because he's getting old. He's getting up there in age, and he's got no reason to continue fighting. He's already done it all. So I think if he's going to get back in there, he's got to be really selective about the fights. He doesn't want to mess with his legacy. You don't want to go out on a loss. And I think after tonight, it would be a great time for him to go out. Beating a guy 10 years younger than him, beating a belt, you know, but who knows? Who knows? Don is asking, how much did Manny make this fight? So it looks like he made 20 million, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure. Yasmin Farah is saying Canelo cute AF. Oh my God, Yasmin. Oh my God, Yasmin. Yasmin, the curtain might match the drapes. That's a lot of red hair, Yasmin. Anyway, probably wrong saying Hopkins made it to 48, I believe. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hopkins did fight till he was that old, but you know, Hopkins is also known as the alien, right? So maybe Manny Pacquiao can do it too, you know, who knows? But is it, I mean, look at the people he'd be fighting against. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter. You know, the weakest link there is Sean Porter, and would still probably give Manny a hell of a fight. I think he probably needs to not fight Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. But if he wants to fight Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, or Floyd Mayweather, I wouldn't mind. Benjamin Franklin, shout out Stockton, California. Oh, shoot. Big shout out to Stockton. I actually got a coworker from Stockton. So big shout out to Stockton. I'm always messing with him about it. I tell him San Pedro is the Stockton of the South Bay. Anyway, Danny Garcia would get crushed, according to Probably Wrong. You know, I think it would be a similar result. Manny Pacquiao still too fast. Still too fast. Guys, I've been on this thing already an hour and 20 minutes. I got to thank all of you so much for your support. It's much appreciated. It's more appreciated if you guys can subscribe to the channel, buy yourself a Fighters Rep shirt, or donate to the channel. And be sure to tune in every Thursday night at 9 Pacific, where we predict the fights. And be sure to tune in Saturdays, typically immediately after any big fight. I'll be live streaming. And anything you donate or purchase or whatever, the money is invested back into Fighters Rep Promotions. So be sure to tune in to that next Saturday, Fighters Rep Promotions, live right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific. The best young fighters in the world going to be competing. Don Elvergudo saying, I want a hat. How much? Hey, my man, you're going to need to go online and find it. I'll send you a link. Pinoy Tube is saying Nicaraguans bum, Jamaicans bum, Thurman's bum. That should make it. Pinoy, Pinoy Tube, let's be respectful, my man. Let's be respectful. Michael Diaz, poor hybrid, boastful makeup kid. I don't know what you guys are talking about at this point. I think everybody's either drunk at this point or high or something's going on. But I'm going to wrap this live chat up. Thank you guys so much for actually God of Rap Castro. Is that a Freemason hat, LOL, or a Morse? Actually, God of Rap Castro. This is a hat my grandparents and them wore back in the old country. I guess the Moors would have worn it as well. Pinoy is saying, sorry, my man. Don't worry about it, Pinoy. Let's just be respectful as to other people's like countries and stuff. That's not what this channel is about. You know, if you guys want to talk about people's ethnicity and countries and insult people and stuff, take it to another channel. Here we just talk about boxing. We respect each other's opinion. We can joke with each other. We can make fun of each other, but there's no reason to have any negativity. It's all love on this channel. Night X Neo saying, thanks, man. You look like you know your shit. Much appreciated, my man. Lifestyle on Wheels. Shout out to Lifestyle on Wheels TV. But guys, really, I want to wrap this up. I greatly appreciate all you guys tuning in. It means a whole lot to me. I work very, very hard, you guys. I actually have, you could say 2 full-time jobs, kids, everything, the whole 9. And this is the passion right here, Fighters Rep Promotions. This channel and Fighters Rep Promotions related to this channel. We'll be airing our fights next week, so it's much appreciated. Any donations, any purchases of Fighters Rep gear. Look how sick this shirt is. This shirt is sick. So I work very hard for this. I appreciate you guys so much. You'll never be taken for granted in this channel. You will never be, neglected in this channel. All your opinions matter. I got a lot of love for all you guys. It means a lot to me that you guys would even tune in to watch and listen to what I have to say and join the forum, because it's not just about me. It's about you guys discussing with each other and us discussing with each other these fights that we love so much, that bring everybody together and we have a good time. So, we keep it respectful. We show, a lot of love, and I'll see you guys soon. I gotta cut this out. It's time to go to sleep. Don Elvergudo, ya tú sabes cómo lo hacemos. Big shout out to Medellín, Colombia. El Platido, all the way from Medellín, Colombia, the UFO. Hey, I'll see you guys soon. You guys have a great night. Be sure to tune in soon. We always got interviews and stuff with fighters, so Check it out, man. Big shout out to all of you. Chapon, shout out. See you guys.